Hi, welcome to our Tutor Spotlight, where we connect with our tutors to talk about different topics revolving around education. My name is Cassidy, and I would like to introduce to you one of our amazing tutors, Matthew.
Hi.
Round of applause. So I did a little bit of research, not really, but I you have been with us for about over a year now, and I want to know, like, how would you say your experience is working with us?
Overall, I think my experience has been great because for me, the biggest part I struggled with, I've done tutoring in the past where I did it privately, but I always struggled with the administrative part of it, the setting up the schedules, keeping things organized, actually meeting clients and putting myself out there. I'm not very good at that whole thing. I always was better at the teaching aspect of it. So working with my private professor has been amazing because you guys handle all of that. And I pretty much just get to focus on doing the tutoring. And you let me set my own hours, you let me set my own rates. So it's as much freedom as I could hope for while not having to worry about logistics.
I see. Wow, thank you. What about education inspires you?
I think the biggest inspiration from education that inspires me is that it provides opportunities. Many people, I mean, we all know today it's hard. It's you can't really get anywhere in life without putting in the hard work for it, and education opens up a lot of doors. It's not easy, but it opens up a lot of doors to, I mean, for a lot of people to escape where they came from. I know for me, I'm a first gen college student. Neither of my parents graduated. Both of my parents work manual labor jobs. And while there's nothing wrong with that, that's not the life I wanted to live. So because I was able to go to college and because of the opportunities given to me by education, I think that I can get a career that's more lucrative and less demanding on my body thanks to being educated.
I totally agree with you. I'm also a first gen college student, and I agree. Like, it definitely does give you more opportunities. You get a better paying job, and I just feel like the more you learn, the more you know. I have
Hmm.
such a high respect for education, just knowledge in itself. It's amazing. Like, the world, there's just so much knowledge. It's
Hmm.
crazy to me.
There are
And
so many different things to learn about,
yes.
even if you don't get one of the practical degrees, just
Mhm.
learning about stuff and having knowledge and broadening your understanding of the world, even that can just, I mean, it's enlightenment to
Yeah,
coin that. Yeah.
definitely. What do you think is the greatest challenge facing teachers and education today?
Um, well, I think there are a lot of challenges, but I think overall the biggest one is the education system itself.
Mhm.
I think that the education system, it's kind of clunky and outdated in terms of the when it was it's a very old system, and so of course it's going to be outdated as times change. And so just the you stick a bunch of students in a room, you have one teacher who puts up stuff up on the board and talks to them, and the students go home and do homework. That works for some students, but a lot of them fall through the cracks.
Mhm.
And so I think the largest problem is that we have the education system. It needs to be revamped, redesigned, worked on. And we also have not enough teachers and too many students. So you can't give students the one-on-one time that many of them need. And you can't personalize things for students. And there's just no money in the system. It's I've got my mother works at a school. She's a paraeducator, and yeah, there's no money in it. Like
Yeah.
it's you don't being a teacher is not a well-paying job, and you're constantly having to pay for things yourselves if you want to do anything for your students. There's just no
Mhm.
they don't have any resources for it.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think tutoring comes into play. One of the reasons I do the tutoring is because it gives students the opportunities they need to have that one-on-one personalized teaching that really helps them out and
Yeah.
makes them think, oh, I'm not dumb. I just couldn't learn it that way.
Mhm, mhm. Definitely. I feel like I also have experience. I've been a tutor for 5 years when I was in college, a little bit in my high school senior year. And one of the amazing things that I noticed, like a pattern when I was tutoring children, was the fact that they all had different learning curves. And it was a challenge for me. And it was very like stimulating that I got to find new ways to get them, like, just seeing that light bulb click in them. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
like creative for me. Like every single day I go into work and it's always something different. And I always have to find creative ways to get them to understand the subject. And it's tough work, and just knowing that teachers have to hold most of that weight in the just a
Yeah,
classroom with like 20 to 30 kids. It's
completely on
insane to
their own.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Yes.
Yeah. So that's the hard part is you have so many people that
Yeah.
you can't give personalized teaching to every single one of them. Like in a perfect world, we would have a 1-to-1 student teacher ratio where you could give personalized teaching to every student, but you would need a lot of teachers.
Yeah, you would. And there's that whole saying that teachers are like they are underpaid, they are
Hmm.
underrepresented, and like they are not as appreciated as I feel like, because I feel like I have a lot of respect for education. I do notice that teachers, like, they're so stressed out. They,
Hmm.
like you've mentioned it before, like a lot of the materials that come into class, they pay out of their own pockets. It's that is a great challenge. Um,
Particularly in high school. I had one teacher I was very close with, and I would go to his class after school, just hang out with him. And it wasn't particularly professional on his end, but he would vent a little bit sometimes, and I would
yeah.
just kind of sit and listen and chat with him. But yeah, it's not easy. Even
Yeah.
tutoring one-on-one is not easy. I could
Mhm.
not imagine handling an entire classroom.
How do you build rapport with your students, especially the ones who are a little bit shy or they're not as engaging?
Um, So I think the main way that I build rapport with my students is by treating them as equals, as more or less adults, even though they're not
Mhm,
actually adults, just by giving them the respect, not
mhm,
talking down to them, not acting like I'm better than them, not trying to maintain an intense formal presence, sit back straight, no smiling, no jokes, no fun, but by sometimes like I won't get very much teaching done during a tutoring session because half the time will be spent talking with them and chatting, telling jokes, trying to be not exactly a friend because it is a professional relationship and so you can't be friends, but you can be friendly and you can be open. And if once they become, in my experience, once they're comfortable around you and they go, oh, it's just Matthew, I don't need to be formal or uptight about it, and when they see you as more of a friendly type, then sometimes you have to worry about keeping things focused a little bit. I've had that problem before, especially when a student doesn't want to do the work. They're very good at
mhm.
distracting you. But when they're more comfortable and friendly with you, I find that that really helps build things. And it really, that even if they're not interested in the work, you can still talk with them. You can still get them to engage. You can, because you can tell jokes. I tend to tell a lot of jokes, kind of sarcastic and witty. That's pretty popular, especially with the middle schoolers.
Mhm.
but so by treating them as an equal
Yeah.
instead of as a child or a student, I
Mhm.
find that they respond really well to that.
Oh, I agree. I feel like in my experience, um, when you have that friendly demeanor about you, like I feel like they feel more comfortable to come to you when they are feeling insecure about
Mm,
asking help, asking for
yeah.
help, or just anything. Because like a lot, I feel like obviously getting tutoring help, that means that we are lacking in something, like an
Mhm.
understanding about the concept. And it's a lot of people don't want to say, I don't know, like this is not my subject. I don't really want to know. And they're too afraid to admit like I need help in this. And so building that rapport and kind of seeing your students grow confident and
Mhm.
see like, you know what, I don't know, but it doesn't mean that I need to stay ignorant in this. Like I can try to learn some more. I can ask for help about this.
One
Um,
of my one of my favorite things to do is sometimes, because I tutor primarily in math.
mhm,
So one of my favorite things to do is I will be working through a problem and I will purposefully make a mistake. Not like
mhm,
the accidentally purposefully where you accidentally did it and you're covering it, but I will actually purposefully make a mistake and wait for them to catch me on it. They love it. They love being able to get one up over on the tutor. And I think it really demonstrates that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not know. You're not always going to be perfect. You can't. You're going to mess up. And so if they see that, oh, even the tutor who knows everything is making mistakes, then maybe it's okay for me to make some as well.
that's a good idea. I think that is all of the questions that I have. So I just want to say thank you again,
Mhm.
and I hope you have a great what's today? Tuesday. Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? I lose track of the
Uh,
days.
honestly, me too.
I'm on I'm on summer break. I have no concept of time other than, oh, I've got a tutoring session at 4 today.
Nice, nice. That's good though. You
Mm.
you deserve a break. But yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
And until next time.
Yeah, thanks. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.